What happens when a routine traffic stop escalates into a national incident? This is the story of a mistake, a lesson, and redemption. On a gloomy Thursday afternoon in Washington, D.C., a police officer's split-second decision to pull over a black SUV led to an unexpected confrontation with none other than President-elect Donald Trump. What followed was a tense encounter that spiraled into a public debate on accountability and judgment. In today's video, we'll dive into this intense story, exploring the officer's error, the fallout, and the powerful lesson in second chances. Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more thought-provoking stories that challenge the way we see the world. It was a gloomy Thursday afternoon in Washington, D.C., with gray clouds hanging heavy in the sky, setting the tone for a somber day. President-elect Donald Trump sat quietly in the back of a sleek black SUV, dressed in all-black attire. He was on his way to pay his respects at a close friend's funeral. The usual bustling entourage that followed him had been pared down, giving the journey an intimate, almost private feel. Meanwhile, Officer Mark Hall, a diligent but overzealous cop in his late 30s, was stationed nearby, scanning passing vehicles with a sharp, almost suspicious eye. Mark prided himself on his attention to detail, but his eagerness to act often led to impulsive decisions. As the black SUV came into view, something about its tinted windows and slow, deliberate pace caught his attention. With a quick decision, Mark turned on his sirens and lights, signaling the vehicle to pull over. The tension in the air was palpable as the SUV came to a gentle stop by the roadside. The mood, already somber from the weather, now shifted to one of unease and anticipation. What should have been a routine check was about to escalate into an encounter neither man would forget, a moment that would not only test judgment and authority, but also reveal the power of accountability and second chances. As Officer Mark Hall patrolled the outskirts of Washington, D.C., his sharp eyes caught sight of a sleek black SUV gliding through the rain-soaked streets. The vehicle's tinted windows and deliberate speed piqued his suspicion. Without hesitation, Mark activated his sirens and pulled the SUV over, his authority unmistakable as he approached. Resting his hand on his holstered gun, he demanded the driver's license and registration. The driver complied calmly, but the tension escalated when the back door opened, revealing none other than President-elect Donald Trump. Standing tall and composed, Trump identified himself, but Mark, unwavering in his authority, refused to relent just yet. Moments later, Mark's radio crackled with a startling update. The real suspect was in a black sedan, not an SUV. Realizing his mistake, Mark stiffly allowed the SUV to leave. Trump, firm but measured, expressed his disappointment. "You've wasted my time. Let's hope you think before acting next time." The brief encounter, though resolved, set the stage for a much larger conversation about judgment, accountability, and the weight of authority. The fallout from the incident was swift and unforgiving. Back at the precinct, Officer Mark Hall faced harsh criticism from his colleagues, with many questioning his judgment. Chief Angela Rodriguez called him into her office, her sharp tone leaving no room for excuses. "What were you thinking?" she demanded. Mark was placed on administrative review and suspended from patrol duties, a blow to both his career and his pride. Meanwhile, a passerby's clip of the stop went viral, sparking heated debates online. Social media buzzed with opinions, some calling for better police training, others defending Mark's intentions. Amid the controversy, President-elect Trump released a public statement. While acknowledging the inconvenience, he emphasized the importance of police accountability and the need for improved training to prevent similar mistakes. The incident, now a national talking point, left Mark grappling with the weight of his actions and the glaring spotlight of public scrutiny. The atmosphere in the precinct's conference room was heavy with tension as Officer Mark Hall sat at the end of a long table, facing a panel of senior officers. Their stern expressions underscored the seriousness of the situation. Chief Angela Rodriguez led the deliberation, carefully dissecting Mark's actions during the stop. "You've been a respected officer for over a decade," one officer began, "but this lapse in judgment has cast doubt on your decision-making." As Mark sat silently, their words weighed heavily on him, each critique a reminder of his mistake. Just as the panel seemed ready to deliver their verdict, the door opened, and the room fell silent. President-elect Donald Trump stepped inside, his towering presence commanding attention. The panel exchanged uncertain glances, but Chief Rodriguez nodded, allowing him to speak. "I hope I'm not interrupting," Trump began, his tone surprisingly calm. "I've had time to think about what happened. While the situation was inconvenient, I've also considered the immense pressure officers face daily. Mistakes happen. What matters is how we learn from them." He turned to Mark, his gaze firm yet understanding. "Officer Hall, you made an error, but I believe in second chances. Let this be a moment for growth, not punishment." His words hung in the air, carrying a weight that shifted the mood in the room. The panel deliberated briefly before delivering their decision. Mark would retain his position, but undergo additional training and a probationary period. As Trump left, he paused beside Mark. "Just do better next time," he said simply. The encounter left Mark with a renewed sense of purpose, a lesson in accountability, and a chance to redeem himself. The panel's decision was finally delivered. Officer Mark Hall would keep his job, but would need to complete additional training and serve a probationary period to prove his commitment to better judgment in the field. Relieved but humbled, Mark approached President-elect Trump as he prepared to leave. "Thank you, sir," Mark said quietly, his voice filled with sincerity. "I won't forget this." Trump nodded, his tone firm but encouraging. "Just make sure you learn from it." Mark returned to duty with a renewed sense of accountability and purpose. The experience had shaken him, but it also gave him the clarity to understand the weight of his decisions and the impact they had on others. Determined to earn back the trust he had nearly lost, Mark resolved to be a better officer, not just for himself, but for the community he served. This incident reminds us that even the most diligent individuals can make mistakes. What truly matters is how we learn and grow from those moments, turning errors into opportunities for reflection and improvement. What do you think about this story? Was the resolution fair? Do you believe Mark deserved a second chance, or should there have been harsher consequences? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching and spending your time with us today. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more thought-provoking content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. See you next time with another story that makes you think.